with our families and our children, so we're eager to
thank
hear
you.
what you have to say.
And thank you all for showing up today. It's cold out, and I know a lot of people would rather be at home. My name is Paul Bascomb. I am the current chair of the African American Advisory Committee, which is the committee that oversees the activities and actions of the Seattle Police Department. One of the things that I want to share that I think is extremely important, nobody in here is stupid. Everybody in here has an experience and a time in their life that has justified, and they can justify where they've been and what they've done. But one of the things that I think in our community in particular, we have to stop thinking that there's a monolith of thought, there's a monolith of actions, and that only things can happen in one way. Everybody, I think all of us has grown up with the adage, there's more than one way to skin a cat. In our community, it's the same thing. This gentleman got an opinion, this gentleman got an opinion, this lady's got an opinion, this lady's got an opinion. All are valid. Let's respect those opinions and find some common ground in those opinions to help resolve our community's problems. We're not going to solve the world's problems. It's hard enough to try to take care of your own homes, let alone the whole community. Let's respect those thoughts, but nobody's tied to one thought. Nobody's tied to one organization. We're not tied to anything that we don't believe in, but we do need to have the opportunity to share our experiences. My family's been touched by the police department. There are bad police officers. There's bad people in our community. There's bad people in our families. Let's not think that good and bad only belongs to one or the other of us. It belongs to everybody through your own experience. And I think as we go through, and particularly in Seattle, who has the finest quality of life in the country. I said the finest quality of life in the country. Does it make it perfect? Absolutely not. Try anywhere else. We never even seen a ghetto. We have not seen ghettos here, but we want to act like we so, hardcore. We come from the street. I come from a family of 14. We've been here a long time. A lot of y'all don't know nothing about real gangs. It don't come from Detroit only. It comes from right here in the streets of Seattle back in the 50s. You had the Knights, the Counts, the Calypsos, and any of y'all that have been around here know enough about them that them was real gangsters. Not real in that they were the only ones that felt like that the streets were theirs, but they settled their issues and moved on. It wasn't like a life had to be taken. The manliness was, I could take an ass whooping and come back tomorrow and somebody's gonna get one or I'm gonna get another. Life kept on going. We got to think about and share about in our household strength, pain, disappointment, all those other things, because it's not an absolute world to where you're guaranteed joy, peace, harmony. Those things are not absolute. They've got to be earned every day. So as I go through and I share my experiences, my family's thoughts and considerations, it's not absolute. One man's opinion, one man's experience. If it can help you, I'm there 24 hours a day. If it's not for you, as my daddy used to say, son, if I'm not your hero, find one. It's not my job to go out and find some child to determine that I'm going to be his hero. If I ever, in my office over here on 23rd and Jackson at Promenade, ever meet a young man, and I have, who walked up to me and heard me having a business conversation with another African-American man, he sat there and he waited patiently, and I was dressed in a suit, my business attire, I do what I do. Most of you who know me know you might see me next 5 minutes. You don't know, who the hell is that guy? I never seen him. I could turn around and be a chameleon. But my point is, this young man stopped me and said, sir, can I stop you for a minute? I said, sure, absolutely. He said, I heard you talking business over there. He was a young, what would appear to be young street gangster, but he was methodical about his process. He said, I want to be able to better my life. I want to be able to find some ways to be able to do the things that are legal and have an impact on me and my family. I said, man, you couldn't have stopped a better person, because all I want to do is give. I don't know who to give to, when to give to, unless you stop and ask me. When you see a OG, if you will, if you have the moxie to stop and ask him, I guarantee you won't find one OG, and we use that in the street where us who have come from the street, I'm not in the street anymore, who have come from the street, know when they say OG, respectful to you, that they even give you that moniker, if you will. But when they do, they're saying to you, I got enough respect, I want to stop and ask you a question. And if you would give me an answer, I'd be more appreciative. I'm just saying, as you go through this life, as we go through the changes that we go through in this society, don't expect absolute. There ain't no great police officers. There's better police officers. Some are better than others. There ain't no great black people. Some black people are better than others. We have a legacy of going through what we've been through, but it's not absolute. Barack didn't go through the same changes that we went through. He come from a different ilk, but who in here don't love Barack? Understand me what I'm saying? Everybody's experience is different, but we can all aspire to try to make it better, black, white, green, or yellow. And again, I just want to part with this, that as we go through these various community meetings, and I know some of you have probably been through quite a few, and I've been through more than I can even care to remember. It ain't gonna happen overnight. You've got to get away from here also, have those one-on-one, those household, those community things where you sit down and you talk about some things. And I challenge you to write some of those out in the future. Bring them to a meeting like this. This is what me and Jane and Fred and Tommy and Jane talked about. Here are some finite things that we have said from our pain, our hurt and experience. And if you want to give this man over here kudos, great. If you want to give him name calling, great. But I guarantee you, he's going to be there no matter what. Are there many John Hayeses in the force? Probably not.
No.
Maybe there's some better. You keep saying, John will be the first to sit up here and tell you. He's not absolute. He's a man trying to do the best he can. There's people in the police force who are good people trying to do the best they can. There's some nasty, low-down, ratty dogs in the police department. But so are they in our community. And those are the ones who killed your children. Those are the ones, when we use that term, don't be a snitch, how dare you? I think each one of us have a responsibility, if we ever want to see this community rise, to say, no more, young man, you will be spotted and pointed out.
Right.
You cannot have a civil society and let these people run free.
Right.
Because what they'll do is continue to be purveyors of your children and not bring clarity of thought, because every time you think you want to say something, they're going to give you that old fear. Well, I challenge you, don't be afraid. How much more can you be afraid than have already lost your children? Let's take over our communities. Let's have some understanding that in fact we respect and love our children, but we got to get the adults the respect to be able to bring it down to where it belongs, so that when we talk, there's a reason for them to listen. But if we don't respect our elders, respect the people who have lived years and seen many things, how are you going to get it down to the ground? Because they don't respect the older ones, because you're not showing the respect. So again, I thank you for your time. I'm just one man with an opinion, but we do meet every third Thursday at SVI at 6:30, or is it 6 o'clock?
6:30.
6:30, and I welcome you. I'm the chairman, and we're getting ready to start a whole new vision of what the African American Advisory Council has been about. And I welcome all of you, or any of you, anytime,